I'm excited to talk to you today about making money, and we're talking really some big money with a side hustle this year. I'm excited to map out 4 proven strategies that I've used to make at least $5,000 a month. And honestly, what I turned into a full-time hustle just from a side hustle today in this video. So welcome to this video training today. A whole lot to go over to really, again, hit some pretty big numbers. If you're hitting $5,000 a month with just a side hustle, but spoiler, let's be real here, bring it in. In fact, let me know in the comments or live chat where you're watching. If you're making $5,000 a month with a side hustle, it's gonna take a good amount of work. I am being honest up front, okay? To set your expectations to make 5K, it's gonna be a good amount of work. I'm gonna show you some data, some new figures in 2021. Going into 2022, and we're gonna tackle this together here, folks. My job here on the team, my name is Mike, of course, is to help you make money in different side hustles. If you don't know my story, I started my own side hustle right here in Pittsburgh in 2015 with apps like Uber, Lyft in the rideshare space, adding DoorDash, the now acquired Postmates, Amazon Flex, you name it, Instacart, Shipped, Lime. Let me know, what am I forgetting? There's a lot. Amazon Restaurants, which has been discontinued, a lot of them. You get the point here. So if you're not a team member, consider hitting that subscribe button if you want to learn how to make money. And if you are a current subscriber, I appreciate you being here. So today's agenda, folks, let's make some real money today, is we need to go over 4 proven strategies. Number 1, direction and mapping. If you're just getting started, or if you've never done this, you need to take a step back and do this. I'm telling you, I've done it the other way. It doesn't work, or it's gonna give you a lot more headaches. Number 2, something that we detailed in a recent video and something that we're really leaning into 2022 is what we're calling the E3 strategy, the E3 formula. We're gonna go over that today. Number 3, challenges and adaptability. If you don't have this, again, if you don't reframe, if you don't actually have these things in mind, you're just gonna wing it. You're not gonna succeed, and you're not gonna hit these numbers, folks. We need to go over that. And then number 4, the growth season. So once I'm implementing the E3 formula, where do I go from there? And it's very important that you know this here. But first, and again, let me know in the live chat where you're watching from. Kevin, I see you here. Ron in the live chat today. Appreciate everyone being here. I need to ask you a question. What is your income goal for 2022? Again, we need to be real here. Can we just, support each other, build a community? That's our whole job here. Let me know. I always talk about not being afraid to talk about money. This year, I have generated a business that really stems around YouTube, generating over 6 figures for the first time, over $100,000 in revenue in 2021. I'm very proud, blessed to be in that position to help other hustlers like you. And I'll tell you what, folks, my goal for 2022 is really to set a high bar for myself and to hit 2.5x that really for 2022. So feel free, whatever the number is. It could be 40, 60, 100, 200, whatever your number is in 2022. Let's talk about it. Because simply talking about the number and putting it out there, friends, family, community like this, it kind of holds you accountable, right? Especially if you have friends and family that kind of know you, like, hey, weren't you trying to make, this amount this month? How's that going for you? So let us know. Number 1, direction and mapping here. Listen, what we're talking about today. I asked you, okay, how much do you want to make? What we're doing is step number 1 to make 5K a month is you need to map out, how am I going to do this? Or again, whatever the number is for you. It can be 2,500, 1,500 extra a month. Again, 5K, that's a good amount of money. So let us know. So firstly, what we need to do is talk about, again, how much money do you want to make? Simple, just to get it out there. Well, how soon do you need to make it? Our strategy here is building a portfolio that's going to allow you to make 5K a month. So, well, how soon do you need it? Do you need it like in the next 30 days? Or can you take some more R&D, some research and development to get there in time? That's like something I want to scale up to, which is actually a pretty good strategy and one that I actually would recommend. How much available time do you have per week? Listen, I've seen numbers officially from some of these companies that say, a lot of people, and let me know in the comments or the live chat if you agree with this, people don't have a lot of time. You're busy, I'm busy. Maybe you only have, an hour a day, maybe 5 hours a week, 7 hours a week, or maybe you have some more time. Maybe you have 20 hours or 30 hours, you're grinding away. Maybe you have another kind of side job, but it's not full-time income, right? Everyone's situation is different. Well, what kind of work do you want to do? There's a whole lot of things out there that can help you make money. I always emphasize it does not have to be just the gig economy, folks. Expansion, we're going to go over this in the E3 formula today. Expansion of considering different ways to make money and what kind of work you want to do. What is available in your marketplace? So maybe I am looking at the gig economy side hustle apps. Now, again, I want you to expand and really go further than just the gig economy. That's really, again, what we're going to tackle in 2022. But what's available in your markets? Okay, what apps are available? What can I actually consider here? And then how well do these choices perform in your marketplace? If I asked you, okay, well, a popular side hustle, pictured here is a DoorDash, the #1 food delivery space. A lot of times when I poll you in our community, DoorDash is really the #1 side hustle. Well, do you know how well it performs in your marketplace? Have you heard any stories? Have you talked with anyone else? Any message boards, anything like that? So here's what we're going to do. Let's map out your goals. Step #1 is direction and mapping, by the way. So here we go. Let's map it out to visualize what do I actually need to do to make this money. If you plan on working 5 days a week for 3 hours per day for 15 hours extra a week, or 15 hours in general, this is what you're going to do. So if I want to make $60K a year, so $5,000 per month, this is going to equal $1,250 per week. Assuming, a 4-week month, of course. Okay, well, I'm going to work 5 days a week. It's going to be $250 a day. That is a pretty strong goal. Hey, let me just say something here. No matter what the numbers are, don't be afraid of numbers. Don't be afraid of high goals. Again, I told you I'm trying to make like 2.5x what I made, this year. It sounds crazy. That's part of it. Don't convince yourself that these numbers are unattainable. So, okay, $250 per day, a strong earnings amount here. Well, if I'm going to only work 3 hours a day, it's $83.33 per hour. Okay. I don't think I can hit that delivering pizzas. Again, I'm going to be real with you. As a community here, I want to give you that realness and not just give you fluff here. Yeah, it's going to be impossible, really, to do that with just food delivery. We're going to get into that later, don't worry. Well, what if I can do 5 days a week with, 4 hours a day? There you go. $62.50 per hour. All right, it's a decent amount, but at least it's not like, 80 something. Okay, well, let's map out. If you can do 6 days a week on your side hustle for 5 hours a day, now that's grinding. Now, again, it depends. Maybe you have time to put into this. Then, in this circumstance, you need to earn $41.60 per hour. Now, my point is you're going to need to look at multiple revenue streams. Again, hey, if I was telling you, how can I make an extra like $1,500 a month? I would say, okay, well, pick the best gig app, become an expert, follow channels like this, and, you'll make $1,500 easy. But, we're talking bigger money here, $5K. So here's some data on side hustlers like yourself from Zapier data. States 34% of Americans currently have a side hustle. And this is in 2020, so I'm betting these numbers have at least stayed the same or gone up. 61% planned to start in 2021. In fact, let us know in the comments section or the live chat if you've started yet. Let us know in the live chat or comments right now. Or are you starting in 2022? Let us know your roadmap there. And then again, 31% started in 2020. That number had gone up in 2021. So number two, after we've directed our earnings flow and mapped out our earnings flow, let's go over really a cornerstone of 2022 is what I call the E3 formula. It's simple. It is educate, execute, and expand. Look, we're talking money here. I'll tell you this, there was no shortage of money. Okay, I forget where I heard that, but it was a fantastic adage. Look, there's no shortage of money in the world, right? You got people making like billions, millions. I just want like 5K a month. Don't be afraid of trying to go get, there's no shortage of money. Do not convince yourself that you're unable to get money or some reason I can't get money. We've seen stories, we've heard stories from individuals of all walks of life, from everywhere in the world, getting their goals when it comes to income. Educate, execute, expand. What do I mean by that? What do you mean by that, Mike? Number one, educate. Think about the options you generated, right, during our mapping phases. What combination gives you the highest success rate? So I asked you to think about, all right, are there gig apps, or here's the expansion parts. Can I sell a product or service? This is something we talked about before. Can I grow and scale a YouTube channel? Affiliate income. Because I'm going to tell you folks right now, again, I'm going to give you that tough love. You can't do this on one app in one niche. You're going to need to get stackable income if you want to hit like 5K up per month. I'm telling you, I've learned this from experience. Now, in this education phase, what I want you to do, here's an action item for you, is to study the best practices for, I'd recommend 15 to 30 days. Why? Because otherwise it's kind of trial by fire. Like can you imagine, like if you're a woodworker and they're like, all right, well, we need you to build this like decking, right? Like, hey, welcome to the job. Today you're gonna build a deck. And you have no schooling or training, so good luck. Right now, eventually, over the probably years, you'll get some semblance of a deck, and then it'll be like, all right. But wouldn't you rather study in an education phase firstly? That's what we're doing here. We're accelerating. We're learning first. Now, if you can do that, yes, I would learn and study as you go. What do I mean by that is, okay, I'm going to try a side hustle. I'm going to try to sell a product, course, service. I'm going to try the YouTube channel thing. But don't just learn by doing. I would also study. So, all right, I got to do this now for whatever reason. I can't learn for 15 to 30 days. Then, yeah, I would jump in and I would study as you go. Also, consider investing in trainings or coaching for side hustles that you want to grow or make full time. Now, this is a big one. This is a big power hack. In fact, drop a like on this video if you appreciate that. The fact is, and I was kind of the same way, is I don't really want to spend money on learning. I think there's a lot of apprehension about investing and spending money on the training, on the coaching. Now, what you're doing when you spend money on training courses and the like is you're shortening the learning curve. If you want to go further faster, if you want to excel, hit numbers that you haven't hit before, you got to do things that you've never done. Consider investing in coaches and training. E3, execute. So the numbers tell a story. Measure them to read it. Whenever you're executing on your side hustles, your new business, whatever it is, now it can kind of feel like I'm doing things right. I'm following best practices, but to track, to measure your numbers, your trend analysis, there's a huge story in there. And this is exactly, for instance, what I do here on YouTube every single day, looking at numbers, looking at analytics, and it really does tell a story of what's working. So let's say you do food delivery, right? They don't really give you a ton of numbers. What you can do is go to yourdrivermike.com, click on resources. There's a free resource. There's an Excel sheet. There's a Mac OS sheet for your gig driving. And it really just maps out the numbers. Again, that's a free resource to say, okay, when I drive this hour in these areas of my marketplace, ideally, this bonus pay, this is what I get. Are you hitting these daily goals, your weekly goals? Dude, what happens if I'm just failing miserably? What if I'm just bombing? We're going to get into that. Remember that for later. And then also, I want you to lean into what's working in the execution phase. Now, we're going to expand after, right? We're going to add new revenue streams after I've built proficiency, after I've understood my numbers, because again, numbers tell a story. Then in E3, I want to expand. I told you here, I was very upfront in saying, hey, you need stackable revenue streams if we're trying to hit like 5K a month. If we're trying to hit some bigger numbers here, you're only going to really do it, in my opinion, with stackable revenue streams. I highly recommend you follow the E3 formula for all of these new revenue streams that you add. So what I mean by that is I would go back, okay, now I'm going to add affiliate income, which is a fantastic option in my opinion, in my experience. So, okay, what's the first step in the E3 formula? It's educate. So instead of just jumping in to affiliate income, I'm going to educate myself on the best practices. Well, Mike said 15 to 30 days. Oh, I can study for 15 or 30 days. Do it. And also, like I mentioned, consider investing in training, coaching. Here's the thing, folks. Training and coaching doesn't always have to cost you money. I mean, there's fantastic business entrepreneurship podcasts out there. Ebooks, I've done that as well. I've purchased ebooks. I've listened to autobiographies. I listen to podcasts every single day about making money, entrepreneurship. And then also I've invested, spent money on different training resources. All that does is help accelerate. So you can, again, go further faster. Can you expand into new niches? Like I just mentioned, don't be afraid of new niches. I understand new things, it can be a little bit intimidating. Passive, active revenue streams, owned revenue streams. Pay attention to that. Let me show you something here. A power tip here. In my opinion, the most powerful revenue streams are the ones that you control. And here's the thing, you're agreeing. Here's some stats. 56% of Americans said they'd be more secure working for themselves than a traditional job in 2020. Up from 32% in 2011. I mean, hey, with everything going on here, people are saying, let me know in the comments if you agree. People are saying, hey, I would actually feel a whole lot more secure, especially again, with everything going on, if I just work for myself. And it doesn't have to be a full-time gig, starting your own business, at least controlling some of your income. Let me give an example here. There has been, I've used those that control their income. Here's a purchase that I made on the freelance and contracting website Fiverr. So when I needed something designed for my business, I reached out to someone who was taking charge of their income. And I contracted someone out on Fiverr. Now, this is Peerspace. Again, I reached out to someone who was taking charge of their own income. Can you say it again with me? Taking charge of my own income is the most powerful form of revenue. So this again on Peerspace, a gig, a website that allows you to contract studio space, warehouses, garages, for use in business. So here I rented from an individual when I was in San Diego to film my mastering delivery course. Nelson here, fantastic by the way, if you're in San Diego, Mission Valley, you need a studio, rent from Nelson. He made almost $300 just on myself as one client. This is the power of taking charge of your own revenue. Now for Nelson, this is really semi-passive income. What was step number 3 in E3? It was expand. So Nelson is using Peerspace as a very semi-passive revenue stream. He's got to clean up. He's got to flip the studio, make it nice. He's got to lock up, what have you. But while I'm there for 4 hours I booked on August 22nd, he doesn't need to be there. He can be doing something else, working on his business or making money, getting other clients. Hey folks, if you're getting value so far in this video, can you definitely drop a like on this video to show me that you are enjoying the content so far. And again, if you're not a team member currently, I invite you to click that subscribe button, join a team of over 65,000. We're trying to make some money this year, whether it be an extra 500 bucks. There's no wrong number. 500, 2,000, right? Or in this case, we're talking 5K a month. Consider hitting the subscribe button. And if you do want to go deeper, click that join button down below, get access to exclusive emotes, badges that change with your membership, exclusive announcements, videos, community tab posts, polls, and more. If you want to do that, click the join button down below. Number 3, challenges and adaptability. Remember, I told you what happens if you fail miserably. It's going to happen. I failed miserably. I'm going to tell you stories here in a second. But the fact of challenges and adaptability, what if I'm not hitting my goals, right? What if I'm failing miserably? Let me tell you something here. So sell me this vending machine. Go ahead. Do you want this? Sell me this vending machine right now. Sell me this vending machine. This was my job in San Diego. I drove my, at the time, Dodge Caliber across the country, packed full of what I could, moving here in Pittsburgh about what it was, 4 years ago or something. And I was taking a job in the vending space, and my job was to sell vending machines, specifically locations. So I'd be soliciting, wherever, hospitals, schools, and saying, hey, we have, a vending machine that would be a great fit for your location. Now, the kicker was this was newer technology of a machine. It was healthier vending that still tasted great, and it wasn't, all this junk. So talking to hospitals, schools, businesses, what have you, we could say, hey, you don't need to put junk in. We have a revenue share, and it'd be just good for your space, what have you. Well, I did okay, in that sales job, my first sales job. Now, what did I do with E3? Even, 4 years ago, I still did this, is I educated relentlessly before the sales job. Prior, I was in customer service, which, easy enough. I was pretty good at. Undergrad in communications, right? I was fine there. But I wanted to take charge of my own income. So E3, I educated. I was relentless. I was shadowing. I was reading all the books, audiobooks of sales, again, shadowing with our best sales professional team members at the time of the company I was working for. So I'm ready to go, making this big move, first sales job. I'm going to kill it. I want to make more money than the 40-something I was making in customer service. Well, I did about as average as you could do. That's nice. I was really less than average as far as my sales performance. Well, how about this? After that company went under, no fault of my own, frankly, it was poorly managed, and they could not pay their employees. It went under. It was a startup. That's what they do, right? I got a sales job selling website services, SEO, to veterinarians of all mediums. So it's like, hey, here's your website. Here's some things that we see with it. Here's your rankings on Google, and here's how we can help. And that was the biggest failure and the fastest failure, that I basically have had, career-wise. That I got lucky with really one sale in, I think it was 6 months, and was let go. No surprise, dude. And actually told them, I was like, thank you. And basically, this was no surprise to me. I told them that. I was like, hey, this is no surprise to me. I don't think this is exactly for me. And there's nothing more stressful than trying to pay your expensive San Diego rent. And I made a base salary, thankfully. But going in every day, seeing yourself, tanked at the bottom of the sales list, even though you're an elder to a lot of the associates there, and with an MBA, right? Like 2 degrees. What's this guy doing here? So I've experienced failure. I've experienced real failure here. But your ability to overcome challenges and failure, in my opinion, is what will determine your success. I mean, to speak candidly, sure. To speak with you, on a personal level here, yeah, I get it. If you're in a place where you are broke, I have been there. I have only been able to afford $5 in the gas tank to drive for, let's say, DoorDash to try to make some money, right? After the company went under the first time that I mentioned to you. I've had the sales jobs. The first one, I was still not doing that great at. The second one, I completely bombed. But I knew, from years even before that I wanted to hit a certain number. And sure, there's some people that speed rocket to success, maybe with a combination of luck, networking, who knows. But for a lot of us, the road is not a straight line. The road is going to be fraught with the road bumps and the challenges. It's what are you going to do when you encounter challenges? And this is real, folks. This isn't, this is, I guess, in part raw speech, but this is real life. I experienced it. Going from dead broke, making nothing, to generating, thankfully, I'm again appreciative of everything and humbled by it, generating a 6-figure business that I only want to grow and expand, because what is that? That is our expand phase of E3. And you can do the same thing here. You can do the same thing. You don't need the MBA. Do not need it. Okay? You don't need to do all that. If you have it, great, right? But you can learn these things. I did not. Frankly, the growth and learning, you go back to the oldest videos of this YouTube channel, it is night and day of learning and growing and expanding. Now, if I want to accelerate that learning, growing, and expanding, again, invest in courses, training. It will massively help you even accelerate that success rate. That's what I want for you, massive success. So, what challenges have you encountered? Comment below right now in the live chat, comment section. Comment right now. What side hustle challenges have you encountered? Anything. Comment right now in the live chat in the comment section. I want to show you something here in a second. What side hustle challenges have you encountered? Anything. Any objection that you have into starting, growing, succeeding in a side hustle. Let us know. Because I thought of a few. Okay, the hourly earnings are too low. There's low dollar requests on different apps. I'm too nervous. I'm too nervous to start. That's real. It's real. I was nervous to pick up the phone and call someone and ask for money, basically. I did not enjoy it. I did not enjoy those phone sales jobs at all. But I could talk to anyone for days, every single day in customer service. Okay. Well, I'm not tech savvy. It's a bad time of the year. I can't find buyers for my products, my services. Maybe you want to sell, right, a product, a course, or service, which I'm a huge believer in. By the way, if you do want to start a course business, there is an affiliate link down below for Podia. That is a website that I use to host Mastering Delivery, which is my course on expediting your success in the food delivery space, learning everything from the A to Z, how to maximize your income here. And I just remembered here, folks, I'm going to put in the live channel, put this in the description as well, an exclusive discounts on Mastering Delivery. There we go. It is in the live chats. To save on that Mastering Delivery course if you're new to the food delivery space. I've been noticing that we've had members already take advantage of that coupon code that will expire on the 1st, just so you know. And we'll pin that to the top so you can take advantage of that. I don't have any experience. I have too much going on right now. I'm afraid to look stupid. Can we just, I'm afraid to look stupid. I'm afraid even this, getting on camera, I don't want to do this. I don't know, it could be a Zoom call. It could be a face-to-face client meeting. Again, if you want to start on Twitch, on YouTube, like, I don't want to look stupid, right? What other problems have you had here? Let us know. Please do let us know here. So, for instance, Anthony states, Rapify, I don't drive enough during peak hours. Folks, Rapify is an app that'll pay you to wrap your vehicle in parts or in full with an advertisement, and that's it. I mean, you make money from that. So if you don't have enough peak hours, then you could think, all right, well, Rapify doesn't have enough peak hours during my normal driving. Carvertise, would I make more money on Carvertise, which is a similar app? Can I make more money on are there other providers, right? Or if you want to even take this to the next level, I mean, you could literally reach out to businesses and say, hey, I noticed you just opened, whatever it is. Have you ever thought about car wrap advertising? We're going deep, right? Car wrap advertisements. You can use my vehicle. I'll just drive it around. You want to give me what? $400 a month. Probably highball them and then negotiate, right? $500 a month, whatever it is. The wrap's going to cost you X. I'll do it for 6 to 8 months. I mean, you just started. I'm literally driving around the local market, which is where your clientele are. I mean, I am a moving billboard other than paying $1,000 for a campaign for a billboard. Like, dude, I'm selling myself. Like, I would make that decision if I was a business owner. A movable billboard in my exact marketplace versus a static billboard. There we go. But there's a lot of problems, point blank. There's a lot of problems, but how you overcome it will determine your success. Number 4, the growth season. So we've talked about E3, educate, execute, expand. We've mapped out how much do I need to make per day, per hour. And again, if you need to make like 83 a day, whatever the number is, you're not going to be able to do this with just driving on an app. I am telling you that, especially if you only have 15 hours a week, 20 hours a week. Now, of course, your number doesn't have to be, $5,000 a month. I'm just being real with you. So the percentage of people, speaking of numbers, earning $1,500 or more per month from their gigs on the side more than doubled from 2020 to 2021 per a Dollar Sprout survey via Yahoo. More people than ever are making some decent money from a side hustle. Now, granted, I mean, again, with everything going on here from 2020 to 2021, I mean, I think more people are looking to even start a side hustle. We saw that earlier. 34% or so of Americans said they wanted to start in 2021. And again, I think that's going to stay the same, if not maybe increase a bit into 2022, because people are seeing the value of being in charge of their own income. That was our power tip from earlier. So the growth season, how do you grow? In my opinion, you need to become a relentless student of the game. When I was typing this up, I initially typed in, you need to become a student of the game. A student of the game. And then I typed in, I was like, no. You have to, I don't know if we just lost our audio. No, I think we're good. Let me know if we did or not. But you have to be a relentless student of the game, because thinking of what's gotten me success is when I was relentless. And I love that word. I'm going to carry that word into 2022, folks, because there's such power in that word, relentless. And it's kind of controversial. Like, dude, I got family. I got like pets, man. I got like a dating life, right? Relentless sounds like a lot. Well, I could have used the word obsessed. One of the books that I read when I was really getting involved, engrossed in the sales space, was Be Obsessed or Be Average by sales expert, real estate mogul Grant Cardone. And the adage is like, look, dude, if you want to be the best, or at least, be at the top, you got to be obsessed. And I'm using that here as far as relentless. Now, I'm a little bit more grounded, a little bit than some of that messaging with Grant, who's just a beast in a good way. But this is the growth season. It's how bad do you want it? Again, we're talking real money here. And I would absolutely like to hear your questions. Adrian, I would love to take a question live. Post your question, folks. I do want to give you the value first, so understand that. I absolutely want to give you the value, but we can certainly answer some questions as well. So expanding our revenue streams, that is part of our E3 formula. Now, when it comes to expansion, look at this. More than half of side hustlers now have tried 3 or more gigs. The highest earners by far are those who have tried 5 or more side hustles. From that same survey, isn't that a thing? Isn't that pretty neat? The highest earners, folks, by far, based on this survey's data, which I think it had like 2,100 respondents, which is a good amount of respondents, they've tried 5 or more side hustles. Think about it. I mean, I tried a different niche, which is what we talked about in our expansion phase. And all right, well, I tried this kind of sales. I wasn't that great at it. I tried that kind of sales. I wasn't that great at it. Success lies just beyond failures. If we were listening to Dropping Bombs by, I'm blanking on the name now. Dropping Bombs with Brad Lee podcast, he drops a bomb with every power statement. I drop a bomb on myself there. You know, success lies just beyond failures. Obviously, if done right, they do. I'm not saying like, hey, it's always going to be success. I get it, right? Success is not guaranteed, but proper preparation prevents poor performance. We've heard that said before by former Secretary of State. Trying to remember the name here, but we've heard that as well. So here's my power tip for you. Here's my power tip for you. If your goal is $5,000 a month, again, you must combine multiple revenue streams with active and semi-passive revenue streams. I'm going to leave you with that. Stackable revenue streams. If your goal is $5K a month, because again, we're getting into real money, you're not going to make it with one revenue stream, and especially one active revenue stream, which means my time. I need to be present, right? I need to take my time here because there's only one of you. There's only one of you in so many hours of the day. I'm just being real with you. I've tried it. You know, you can only max out on X amount of dollars. There's only a certain amount of hours in the week. You only have so much free time. So here's the thing. I do want to answer some of your questions live, but first, what I want to do is give you a week by week breakdown. So this video, what it did is really give you a by the month breakdown of how to make 5K. So if you want to know how to make, let's say, $1,000 a week and get that week by week breakdown, I want you to click or tap the screen right here. And if you did get value in this video, drop a like as well. Now, if you do have questions, stay tuned. We're going to answer your questions here shortly. But you can click or tap the screen right here, and I'll see you in the next one.